Also in Vancouver, we're working in the downtown east side, where there's a lot of drug use that creates challenges for the transmission of all kinds of diseases, including that. So we do that. And in Winnipeg, there's a huge, we don't run programs, we fund them. So there's a huge community health clinic in Winnipeg that does all kinds of work with sex trade workers, from education to vans in the street doing health work to exit strategies for people who want to leave the sex trade if they do. So that's where our focus is.
I'm pretty sure that it's a large majority of the producer groups we have in Africa, in particular in Africa, but in a lot of countries. I know Indonesia has a really good one too, that they are supporting. Sometimes they're going specifically for women who are single because of HIV/AIDS, who are suffering, groups who are supporting children who are orphans because of HIV/AIDS, and it's very much there's, depending on the group, medical access to medical care, just education on the whole issue. I'm going to tell a quick story because I haven't taken that much mic time, so I'm going to take from another one with this group who is there in Kenya and Kathmandu, and AIDS was spreading, and they wanted to stop that somehow. And the one road out of Kathmandu is where all the trucks go, so they figured that's where it was spreading. There's a little hut there the police had. It was very decrepit, so they offered to build a new one if they got a little space there for their program. Yes, fine. So they built the police a new little shed, put some condoms there free for the truck drivers, but they weren't being taken. Didn't know why, but they knew that all of the everyone in Nepal needs matches because a lot of the smoke and the power is only on a certain number of hours a day. So they attached the condoms to books of matches, and on both the front and the back. So no matter how they set it down, there was a message: monogamy is best, but use a condom if you're going to not be monogamous. And they have actually been able to document that it's slowing the spread. So there's just one of the few grassroots initiatives that are making a difference.
Will boards to change curriculum policies to include issues of social justice?
We're funding 4 networking projects across Canada to bring in healthy relationship programs into the high school curriculum. We just had the first draft of the research report come out on that work, and it's very interesting. The more the healthy relationship programs are delivered by community organizations rather than in the regular health and phys ed curriculum, the more successful they are likely to be, and the more likely you'll have peers who want to be involved in peer leader programs and co-facilitate healthy relationship programs. All of that, the healthy relationship programs have a social action component attached to them. So for example, in some small rural communities in New Brunswick, where we have a project, homophobia is rampant. And the idea of talking about that in the high school curriculum is a challenge in those communities. So youth in those high schools have taken that on as a social issue, a social action issue, working with their families and their communities to have those relationships in schools. So healthy relationship programs do all of what everybody at this table has talked about in terms of education and gender analysis and so on, but good ones have peer mentoring and a social action component to them. And in Ontario, last year, the province announced that they were going to have healthy relationship programs across the high school curriculum across the province. So TDSB has started some, and Vancouver and BC as well. So it's a beginning movement. We're actually going to have so if you want information, we have little brochures coming at them, but we're going to have what we call a road show. We're going to bring all those programs that we fund together for a conference so that the learning can be shared with others doing similar kind of work.
And I'd like to thank everybody for coming today, and especially our panelists who have so eloquently outlined both how women have made many advancements, both locally and abroad. But we also have a long ways to go to make sure that our rights are not eroded, whether it's here in Canada or abroad. And I think that you did a lovely job today illuminating the different steps that people can take to be able to take action in their own communities, and I thank you for that. And I think at this particular time, we've got some of our organizers going to come up, and they're going to do some wonderful raffle prize draws.
To get back to work, but I do have a couple of prizes for you before you leave. So we're going to start with the draw for the icebreaker activity. Does anyone else have a ticket that they wanted to submit before? Sorry, I'm really bad with names, so don't hold. Is Camille still here? Okay, perfect. So we also have 3 other gift cards for Rosewater. This is for Mandy Jonas? Yes? All right, the next one is for Sophia, who I believe may have left. Frank.